The great thing about being magnetic, while also simultaneously the most hard thing to deal with about being magnetic, is that there will be many people intimidated by you when you are magnetic. And some people will revere you, and some people will hate you and be jealous of you, etc. You've got to be mindful of this kind of stuff, because people might try to overstep certain bounds and boundaries, rather, when you're communicating with them, because they see you as a threat. Okay? They're going to try to lay out these puzzle pieces of lies all around the floor around you, and you're going to have to try to put together their lies of the pieces of the puzzle, together. It's not even a mystery, like, because it's one thing to be mysteriously magnetic and to actually have something good going for you, but it's another thing to be mysteriously magnetic and have people around you that want to destroy you. Because if you have people around you that want to destroy you and they don't want to see you elevate, good luck, man. Good luck out there. I cannot tell you how many times in my life I've heard people around me, say one thing and do another. Say one thing and do another. But the beautiful thing about discernment is that you can easily recognize who's real and who's not based off of, well, are their words and their actions matching? Are they truthful in their words, and are they truthful in their actions? Because if they can be truthful in their words and their actions, then it's going to be very challenging for them to actually, want to do something wrong to you. And if they do happen to mistreat you, they're going to, like, that kind of connection that you're going to have with this person, if you're magnetic and they're magnetic, it's not gonna fall apart, because you guys both are real and mature enough to understand, like, sometimes we make mistakes, but other times it's gonna be like full on understanding, definite, and just going with the flow in a way that really inspires creativity, that inspires this, not necessarily a lust for life, but this zest for life. Because I think a lot of the times people get the two kinds of confused. There's a difference between being lustful for life, and there's a difference between having a zest and a profound vigor to want to really assert yourself in the world and to really place yourself and go forward and move forward. It's not like people that are turbulent, for example. I don't trust people that are turbulent, because these are the kinds of people that are more chaotic, and not in like a positive way, right? Because you can be a little bit chaotic and a little bit wild, but you can have it controlled. Like, if you're controlled chaos, like specifically as a man, if you're somebody that embodies controlled chaos, people are going to be intimidated by you, or they're going to revere you, or they're going to try to destroy you. Those are really the three options, I suppose. And I was in the sauna earlier today, and it was after my workout, just getting in that recovery and all that. And afterward, when I was in the sauna, there was a couple guys that were in there, and we could hear, like, the women next door. They were just laughing and chatting super loud and everything. And one of the guys, who's an older guy, I was the youngest one there. It was me and two other guys. It was kind of like probably this guy in his 70s or so, and then this guy in his 40s, and then me at 28. And the older guy says, "Holy moly, is that the women next door that we can hear?" And it's like, and I make a joke, and I'm like, "Yeah, they're communitarians." And then the guy that's like 40, he says, "Hey, don't say it too loud. They might hear you." And I was like, "Man, I don't care. Like, I don't care about this." And they kind of start laughing a little bit. We start to have a conversation, and they start to talk about marriage and such. And we start to have this this conversation that leads into real life things that are going on. And the guy that's like the 40-year-old guy, I can see he's starting to get uncomfortable because I could feel like this guy's a beta. This guy's a coomer. He's putting on an act basically right now. I could feel it. I could see it. And I could feel his spirit really starting to like get uncomfortable because, well, it was really the demons inside of him, because I could feel like he was resonating with us and what me and this older guy were talking about. Because the older guy got it. This older guy was probably one of the most like awake people I've met for months here in my community. And he was just this guy. He was like, man, I can feel your spirit right now, man. Like, even when you just walked into the room, I could feel your spirit, just the way that you carry yourself. And it's like, that's a sign of magnetism. And that's a sign that somebody real that's recognizing another person that's real. And you know, this guy, that the 40-year-old or so, he couldn't take it. Like, he left. I don't know. He was pretty weird about it. And you know, this is just something that you have to recognize, that you're going to bother some people just by being who you are. And I could tell that he was, I wouldn't necessarily say that he was intimidated per se, but he was definitely uncomfortable in the sense that like he didn't know how to respond. And it's almost intimidation, but not quite. And because I was going all out, like, I'm just a real person at this point when I'm out in my community. I don't give a crap anymore. Like, I care about people. I love people. But I'm not going to try to, like, hide. I'm going to go full-fledged and, like, look, if you're not ready for the truth, I understand. I'm going to meet you where you're at, but I'm not going to sugarcoat it either. Okay? Because I know that people need the truth, man. Like, in the Bible, it says that in the end of times, there will be a famine of the word of God. I'm not saying we're in the end of times, because I don't really know I don't think we're in the end of times. A lot of people might disagree with that, but I don't think we're in the end of times just yet. But what I do think is that we are in the calling times, the last call kind of times. And I don't think, like, I'm calling this the age of novelty. That's what I'm seeing. Because this is all new. Like, we live in a time where pretty much everything is new. Look around you. We can connect with anybody around the world at any time and have a conversation with them via spirit, through technology, through matter. We can have a conversation with somebody via spirit through matter. Not like at any point. At any point. That's how you meet people all the time. Because, you know, if you are in my, like, if you're in my room, for example, like, if you were here, I would see your spirit and your body, and you'd see my spirit and my body, but we are physically together. No, we now live in this age of novelty where people around the globe, all of a sudden, now you have this newfound ability to connect with people. And sure, it's not going to be explicitly in the way of, like, close physical contact, but you can still develop connections. You can still make stuff happen, like, just through the ethereal air. Like, it's, it's so crazy and cool. Like, social media and technology has a great potential. I truly believe this. Otherwise, I wouldn't be making videos. I wouldn't be doing stuff like the Regal Change Academy online. I wouldn't be doing one-on-one mentorships with people all over the world. I wouldn't be doing that if I didn't believe in what I was doing and the technology. I thank God every day for the technology. This technology that we have is beautiful. It's amazing. It just is used for shit a lot of the times, to be frank. Like, it's just, to be honest, that's what it is. It's a lot of crap. It just is. It's a lot of crap. And people, they love to eat it up. I don't know. This is just what they do. But anyway, that's a little bit of a side note, but I think we can still connect it. People that watch my videos, something I've noticed is that people are usually open, and they have a high openness trait in their personality. They're also not neurotic, and they're usually more industrious, and they're high in compassion as well. and they're usually lower in extroversion, which is also interesting because I think you like extroversion and introversion are definitely qualities of your character, but it's not everything. It's not the end all be all of who you are. And I think a lot of people take it too to heart. Like these are just functions. They're just ways of being. It's not really about like oh, I have to identify as this. It's like no. It doesn't need to be that way. And I think that's what makes somebody magnetic too, is just being who you are. Just being. Have you ever noticed that God will put, like, you might be able to get what you want in life if you are just brutally aggressive and forceful in what you do. Absolutely, right? But if you have enough humility to slow down and to really examine what's happening and then move strategically, guess what? Guess what? Here's what's going to happen. God will give you exactly what you need from who you need it from, because God speaks to us through people sometimes too. And do not underestimate the value of a true godly person, whether it's male or female. Do you know the kind of impact that a godly woman can have in your life? Gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, but specifically gentlemen here, because a lot of men are still like, they're caught up with the women being communitarians, right? Like, because it is a joke. Like I said to this guy in the sauna, I was like, yeah, they're communitarians. And like, it's true though. They like to chat. They like to talk. They're pretty much in competition with each other all the time. All the time. And yet they're going to be saying nice things to their friends' faces and their girlfriends' faces, and then talk about how slutty she is behind her back. Like, that's what women do sometimes. And we actually have a woman in the Regal Change Academy group, and she was like, I would rather be around men now because I've seen what women and who women truly are. She didn't think women used to be like this. Like, she didn't know how cruel women can be. And she's not the kind of guy that's like, or the kind of girl that's like, oh, I want to be around having guy friends and whatnot. She just wants to be around decent people. And that's why she's in the community. But that's just an example of like, women are waking up. Like, godly women are waking up. They're realizing that if they don't say what they mean, if they don't mean what they say, men are not going to take them seriously. And guess what? When you mean what you say and you say what you mean as a woman, do you know how magnetic you become? Like, knock, 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 hello? Do you know how magnetic and really free? Like, you do not underestimate the power of a truly godly woman that means what she says and says what she means. That kind of woman can change your life. She can. Absolutely. And I know it because I've seen it happen in my own life. That's a woman that is truly godly can change your perspective of life forever. Really. Just like a man. A godly man that is a true godly man can change your perspective of how reality works forever. It's true. And this is the power that comes with being magnetic. And this is why you need to be kind of careful sometimes with the proclivity that you have toward expressing this magnetism. Because there will be people that try to tear you down and take you down. There will be people that want you to grovel to them because they cannot stand to see somebody who is operating and just being in their life that is happy, joyful, filled with ecstasy. You know, something I was thinking about last night is like, and I say ecstasy, I don't mean like neurotic lust. That's not what I mean. I mean like a true bliss of being at ease with existence. So many people want to suffer. Like, have you noticed that? Even followers of Christ, they're like, oh, I have to suffer. I have to beat myself up. And it's like, yes, but no. Okay? Have humility, absolutely. But you do not need to beat yourself up over every little thing. Because what is that going to solve, man? Like, give yourself some grace. Give yourself some compassion. Love yourself as Christ would love you. Okay? Do you think, like, how would Christ respond to you when you're doing certain things and now you've made suffering for yourself? how do you think he would respond to you? Now, take that and respond to yourself in the way that you think that Christ would, or at least the way that you perceive Christ would be according to the scriptures. And really, that's how you're gonna be able to develop your relationship to God, honestly. But the thing is also is like yes, life is suffering, but that's like the point. Like that's the point, and it's not a sad thing. You don't need to beat yourself up over it. You don't need to be depressed or anxious about this. It's not something to be depressed or anxious about. It's actually something to be filled with ecstasy for, because now you realize, like, if you can share the meaning of your suffering, now life has more meaning. It's almost like you relax into the mode of being, and life will just take care of itself, man. You don't need to think about it too much. Be who you are and love who you are, and love yourself the way that God would love you. Okay? So with all that being said, I hope this message was resonating with people, relatable, or edifying in some way, shape, or form. If you do want to join the Regal Change Academy group that we have weekly calls as well as classes available in the academy. And if you want to get more of an insight on what's what and what it's about, we do offer a free 15-minute call. It's not really a consultation, but it's a call where you can get some insight on what's what and who's who with one of the team members at the Regal Change Academy. I also appreciate everybody tuning in, dropping a like or a comment to this video, and a follow if you're watching from X. And peace be with you all. Until next time.